Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This is Fish and Grits. We coming to you guys with a little Southern hospitality. Today we doing it for the culture. Like I tell you always, the culture is not always about race. It's about the appreciation of arts, human intellect, developing each other, core values, social practices, anything we want. And today we got our man Lane Fobbs sitting in for the culture. What's going on, Lane?
Man, I can't complain, man. We're working on TV show, working on our trailer for a movie we want to do next year. We got a lot going on out here in ATL, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Griffin couldn't make it today, but I do have my man Wilson. How's it going for you today?
Hey man, I can't complain, man. Another day to walk, talk, breathe, and just enjoy life, man. It's all good.
Yes, sir. We gotta enjoy life, definitely. Man, Lane, just brush the people up on what's been going on, man. We know you've been making a lot of major moves. You've been real low key with it. I see you grinding, but just tell everybody what's going on. What's going on in the world of Lane Fobbs?
Oh man, well the Instagram is girl_group ATL, girl_group ATL. That's where you go. If you want to see our latest project, man, you can go there and check it out. We're just doing a lot of stuff, dude. We're kicking off with our second TV show, second web series. The first one was Lance Ball Sports, did very well. This one we cleaned up everything we did from the first one with Girl Group. It's a R&B offbeat mystery comedy, something you might find on Adult Swim one night. Um,
Nice.
All
yeah,
right.
and we're actually gonna sell that one. We're actually gonna sell
How
that
many
one.
episodes are you into it so far? You got a couple on your belt already?
We've shot all four, so we're shooting our first four episodes, and the premise is going to be instead of a crowdfunding, we're just going to sell it to you, and you can follow us on the Instagram. You can see where that money goes. We'll come back early in January, February next year, and we'll shoot 10 more. So instead of four, now we can do 10. The next time we meet, we can do 20. So it's a snowball effect.
Man, when we gonna get this sneak peek? We ain't seen nothing yet, bro. You
You have
been
well, you have the trailer. You have
teasing
the
them?
teaser.
I
You have
need
the
the full
teaser.
I need the full episode on the low. I ain't
The
gonna show
full
nobody. Come
the
on,
full episodes. Well, we'll be releasing small snippets on the Instagram page. That's what we're going to start doing here
okay,
in a few weeks. We
okay.
finally we finally got it. We're getting to a point where we can release some stuff. I don't just want to throw something out there and people are still confused by what's going on and it doesn't look great. But we'll send out some raw clips. We'll send out some raw clips. We'll keep y'all updated on the progression. But the best way to do it is Instagram girl_group ATL, girl_group ATL. If you're friends with me on Facebook, the girl group Facebook page also.
Nice, nice, man. Other than the girl group, how's life in Atlanta for you, man? Atlanta been treating
Man,
you right recently?
life out here is crazy, man. It's been a rocky first year, but things have stabilized, man. It's not like Houston at all, man. I jokingly tell people it would be like Houston if the Simpsons ran it, if it was Springfield. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that, man.
I
So,
believe that. I believe that.
yes,
How
it,
they taking that Super Bowl loss up there? Oh yeah, are people actually able to like crack jokes about that 28-3 still kind of
man,
sticks?
man, these people are always up in arms about something, man. This week they're up in arms about how everyone's talking about how the Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays,
I
which,
mean
by the way,
that was dumb. That was dumb
thank
about
you. No, no, no. But they're defending it. Everybody, you know what their defense is? Their defense here is, oh well, Atlanta United plays here. The college football games play here. But your biggest draw is the Falcons.
the
Your
biggest
biggest draw does not get to eat Chick-fil-A.
Hey, I'm telling
Come
you,
on.
if I was a Chick-fil-A employee on Saturday, I'd probably hide a couple patties. I'm like, hey man, if y'all want
And
these,
listen,
y'all go ahead
listen.
and
I'm
get it
saying this is like
11:30
like a
then.
lot of what they say is true. Like there is a media bias against Matt Ryan. Statistically speaking, he was one of the better quarterbacks. Listen, Texans fan, I'm talking to you. I'm going to talk a lot to the Texan fans tonight. We'll get to that. I know we will. I appreciate y'all letting me come on for that too. But I want to talk to them because after Matt Ryan, after Matt Schaub's big year a few years back, weren't you all upset that the media didn't tout him enough as the top guy?
Not me. I was never a big
Well,
shot.
there were people though. There were
I
people.
don't
I
have
mean, but
quarterback
but you
issues.
you also
But
got you also
there
got to
were
realize
people.
that Shab was like the first taste of Shab was like that Costco sample. Like, you know what?
But here's the
I don't
But
I
thing.
don't
don't get
I
me
Here's
don't.
the thing.
wrong. With
Any praise.
Schaub, it was kind of
But I
justified
understand that.
because
But listen. Here's what I want to say. Here's the thing. The thing about praising Matt Schaub, it was totally justified. He was coming off of a good year. All we have is what a man has done. His actions. We saw that. So in subsequent years he started being pick six and all this other crap. But and he
I mean,
deserved
that
it.
that was there in the early years. It just wasn't as consistent of pick sixes like it was in 2013. But
It's
he
easy to
always
overlook pick sixes when you got a top 10 seed.
Baltimore Battle Red Day pick six on Monday Night Football. So he's always had that pedigree. So it wasn't nothing new. But like I say, it was just that first taste of quarterback. But I mean, I kind of get the same thing with Matt Ryan, but I don't think he's gonna have a good year myself. I'm just being
You're
completely
a
honest.
hater.
Here's what
You're a
I've been
hater.
telling people. And I'm telling you as somebody from here. I'm not from here, but I pay taxes here, so I'm a resident. So I'm
You
telling you as a
damn right.
resident. Here's the thing. uh, Here's the thing about the Falcons. They are not going to get back to the Super Bowl, not because they suck, but the NFC is so
The
volatile.
NFC South
The
on its
NFC
own.
South, man. I mean, look at how many. Okay, do you know that the last team who was the last team before the Patriots went on this huge run to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC? It's not the Patriots, Peyton Manning's team, the Steelers, or the Ravens. Who was the last one?
That's
The
not none of
Raiders?
those teams.
Yeah,
The Raiders? I don't know.
Well, Raiders in
or the Raiders.
2000.
Yeah, or the Raiders. The Raiders one time, or the Raiders.
Man, it's. I mean, they've been so
The
dominant over the
Titans.
last 20
It was
years, man.
us, the Tennessee Titans.
Man, they were still the Oilers back then. That shit
No,
don't
they
count.
weren't. They were the when they went to the Super Bowl. They
Man,
were they were the Titans.
when they first left, that was the goddamn Oilers. Tennessee didn't have no kind of mark on their team.
Well, by the time they
They
got
they went to the Super
successful and
Bowl with
made
the
it to a
Oilers.
Super Bowl, they shook that nasty Houston karma. And when they became the Tennessee Titans, they went to a Super Bowl.
But not quite, because we lost the Super
That
Bowl
was,
in heartbreaking fashion.
because
But
there was no
ironically,
Well, I
Oilers
mean, they
team.
couldn't completely shake
Y'all
off.
wasn't
They
supposed to
couldn't
win
completely
with
shake it
the
off.
team. Y'all shouldn't even been there. That lucky ass miracle, that lucky ass kick return.
Don't be
you know
like
what?
that.
A win is a
Well, I
win,
am gonna be
Texans
like that, cause
fan.
dude,
A
Don't
win
be
is
like
a
that.
win.
Bud Adams took away football when I was a child.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sorry,
He
sir.
didn't take it
Edit
from
that
he.
statement.
What did
Edit
he
that
take?
statement.
The
Edit
black
that
community
statement.
could not afford to go to the Astrodome. What did
he
he
took
take?
it.
He
He
took
took it away
nothing.
from us, bro.
We still got to watch them on TV. We still get to watch them now on Red
It's
Zone
not the
and on the
same.
legal internet
It's not
channels.
the same.
I
The
It's
didn't.
not the
fans in
same.
Houston decided they were too big for their britches and didn't want to get that man what he wanted, which was less than
Look,
what they ended up giving McNair. So
I
they
was
got rid of
9.
Gus.
If I knew I could have changed something, I would have made a change. But it was out of our hands. The fans had nothing to do with that,
Man,
dude.
I like Wilson. I like y'all's new
The
host, man.
fans should
I
have
like
taken the time when they voted on that stadium referendum to get Bud Adams
Preach.
his stadium back
Talk
then,
about
and they
money.
voted it down because they
Talk
were too
about
big for
money.
their britches. They voted it down, and Bud was
I
like, "Y'all think I'm bluffing?" And
I
he took
couldn't
his
vote.
shit to Tennessee.
I couldn't vote, man. Like it's not my fault, but they snatched it away
And I'm
from me,
not
and
saying it's your fault, young
I'm
buck, but
glad
I lived through
they
that.
lost.
I was grown when that happened.
Do you know how
That
much
was
hurt it
all
would have
Houston's
been?
fault.
You know how much hurt it would have been to see the Titans win the Super Bowl. Like,
I would have loved it
Oh
because I love Steve
no!
McNair. I really didn't care.
You remember this Super Bowl victory this year and next year?
nah, it ain't who.
The Titans.
No, that's
Gonna
not.
lay
That's
out.
now.
And,
Now,
and here's what Wilson's turning on you. You ready?
now. Don't get me
I'm going to
wrong.
lay out
If you
some
listen to our
information.
podcast, that's my number one sleeper in the NFL this season. I am
That's
super
all. That's
high
all.
on the
Like,
Titans.
Lane, before you
There
even
you
get into
go.
this tangent, we all expect.
I'm super high on the Titans,
So you're
but I don't
not
think they Super Bowl ready just yet.
not Super
I
Bowl
think they
ready.
got a couple of years, but I don't think they Super Bowl ready just yet. But they're getting there. They're about to beat the brakes off the AFC South. I will tell you that.
Lane, tell me this: what kind of record do you see the Titans having this year?
They'll win 10 games. They'll win 10.
That's what we got. We got 10-6.
No, that ain't we. Don't say we.
They'll win 10 games.
What did you have?
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Marcus Wilson had them at 12-4.
Last year, week one, the Vikings. They should have won that one. I was there. They left it on the table. The Adrian Peterson interview we did, we left that one on the table. Week 14, Mariota gets hurt against the Jaguars. We lose that game. That was win 10 and 11 right there last year.
Now y'all wasn't gonna beat us if we played all
The
our
Tennessee
starters.
Titans are gonna go 12-4. They're gonna go 12-4 this year.
Man,
The
only reason I can't say it is because of our coach. We have an idiot coaching staff that needs to be fired immediately.
You said the same thing about the Texans. You don't like none of the coaching staffs in the AFC South.
Yes. We're gonna get to the Texans.
But I'm just saying, like, what coaching staff do you like in the AFC South? It seemed like none of them at this
None
point.
of them. That's why the AFC South sucks. They all have bad coaches.
And I bet
Cannot
the AFC
cannot
South is gonna
disagree with
have
that.
2 playoff teams coming out that division. As
Oh,
Cannot
bad as the
disagree
really?
with
coaches
that.
are.
Really?
Guaranteed.
Wow.
I guarantee Titans and Texans will make the playoffs. I'm
Wow.
Well, I
telling you.
mean, you can fake it till you make it in the regular season, but that coaching gets exposed in the playoffs, so I can believe
Right.
it.
So the Titans will win the division and the Texans will stumble into the playoffs like they
Titans,
always do, huh?
Pretty
Titans
much.
will not win division in my opinion. Wilson got the Titans win division. I got Texans winning division with the Titans coming in as the wild card. That's just
I
my.
got the Titans at 12-4, and I got the Texans coming in as a wild card at 10-6.
I got both of them making that 10-6, but I think the Texans gonna have a tiebreaker
I have the Texans at 9-7.
again.
9-7. Because here's the thing.
No
Here's the
surprise.
thing. Two wins. We gave you 2 wins. We gave you 1 win, I should say. You're not getting
Yeah,
that back.
you gave us.
We will sweep
won the other
Mm.
one.
the Texans. I know we split. We will sweep the Texans.
No, you won't.
Andrew Luck
Y'all will
has
sweep
1
at the
win over the
stadium.
Colts.
Y'all may be sweeping the locker room after y'all lost, but y'all ain't gonna sweep.
No. Mariota is here to show you what real quarterbacking play looks like.
No, don't get me wrong.
Because we haven't
First
seen
off,
it in the
first off,
time
Marcus
since
Mariota
Manning left.
is the best red zone quarterback right now, not named Aaron Rodgers. So
Look at the numbers. You're right. That's why he's the best.
I can
So
definitely
is he
agree
the
with
best
that.
quarterback in the division?
Yes, he is the best quarterback in the
All
division.
right.
But he's also the most fragile quarterback in the division.
No, Andrew Luck is the most fragile.
Let's look at what
Andrew Luck
happened.
is the most-
No,
Let's
because
look at
Andrew
last
Luck
year.
don't have half the line that Marcus Mariota got, and he always hurt. Andrew
Okay,
Luck-
let's look at last year. It was not like we had anything to play for when the Texans won the week before. Why would you? He probably could have played. Why would you have thrown him out there for what?
I mean,
What?
Marcus Mariota last year was his second year. Nobody expected big things. The third year is always when the most
Entire
pressure is
season
on.
up until it stopped counting. When it was on the line, he was there.
What does that mean, though?
It means that he's there for big moments. You need your quarterback for big moments.
But you're
He's
talking to a
accurate.
Texans fan.
He
don't
knows
know
when to
nothing about
run.
that.
He's confident behind the 2 best tackles in football.
Not the best tackles in football. Probably paired,
Yes,
but not
we have
the
the 2
best.
best
Not
tackles
1
in
and
football.
2. See, now you tripping, Lane. Not
Who?
now.
Who?
Not
Who?
at Titan juice. Man, I'll take Tyron Smith over both of them. What do you mean?
Ah,
If it's just one off rip,
we have the best 1-2
it's just
punch
one
in
off rip, and
football.
then I'll take Joe Thomas in front of both of them. So what?
We have the best 1-2 punch. Who has a
Okay.
better pair of tackles than we do?
Pair, they probably up there. They probably
1
up
and
there as a
2.
pair. I mean,
What is our offensive line
kid,
rank?
As a pair, they're way up there. I'll still
Yeah.
take my guy left tackle over there.
Well, hey, y'all, where does our offensive line rank? Where did the Titans' offensive line rank?
it's been a
me, they're
top
top
5
five.
offensive. Yeah, they've been top 5.
Yeah, to me, they're top
Like,
five.
that's what I'm saying, Lane. You're not really selling us on anything. We already seen these things. The person, what I don't trust on the Titans is their defense. I feel like they got a lot of name value. I mean, Dick LeBeau's gonna have to coach their ass right, but I'm not trusting their defense. And
I'm gonna give you a name. Go ahead.
What you got.
I'm gonna give you a name. Kevin Byard. He's from here. Actually, when I drive around here and meet a lot of different people, they go to MLK High School. It's down here in deep in south part of DeKalb County, and Kevin Byard is from there. That's where he went to school. I think he's due for a great second year. Kevin Dodd is back. He feels good about being back with the team. He's only going to improve the linebacking core. Okay, Adoree Jackson. He's come along better than I thought he would. Not all the way sold on him, but I think
you know you're not sold on him. Now you just pushing him, man, because you
And
wasn't sold on him when he got drafted. You buried that pick, Lane. You buried the shit out that pick. So
All
don't
we had was
don't try
Geno.
don't try to throw
on
him.
him to be a plug and play starter. He's not there to be a starter right now. He's there for depth.
Well, I think he's gonna be a starting slot.
I mean, eventually
slot
he's gonna
corner.
be a starter, but they didn't draft him this year to come in and be a plug and play starter. They did those moves in free agency. They'll be fine.
Now you're right though. I do have questions about the secondary as always. I always do. When do I not go into the Titans having
But
questions?
that's all secondaries, man. These secondaries, they don't get a lot of reps like we think. They get these practice reps, but these are scripted plays. Like between linemen, if you have a good line that you ain't got to worry about pass blocking, you already have an advantage. But if your secondary get exposed, it's gonna be a long season for you regardless. And
Which is why,
those are the two weaknesses you see on almost every NFL team is going either secondary and or line.
which is
Pretty
why
much.
I
But
was. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's pretty much gonna be the scenario. But the motivating and biggest factor to me, which is one of the things that I'm so high on Tennessee, is if you got a good front seven, you can make a bad secondary look real good.
And I think they're good, but not great. Like I don't know if they have the front seven that can make up for those
But
Jarrell
their front
Casey.
seven doesn't necessarily have to be great in
Casey.
order to help the secondary make
to
plays. And
win
with the way that
12
their
games. They
offense,
they gonna have to they
Revitalize
gonna
the
but
have to
with the
Ryan
give
way
up a
that their
Rambo.
lot of
offense moves the
turnovers.
ball, you look at their
Wesley
offense and you look
Woodyard,
at the
Avery.
small things as in time of possession and how they can manipulate that ball control and manipulate that clock in their favor. That does add out to 12 games if they
The
can get
on,
that ball bounce right.
I'd put 12 games if they started their best running back all 16 games. They need to put
Revitalize
they
Kevin
need to put
Dodd.
this bullshit with DeMarco Murray and go ahead and give my man Henry this job.
The
He
numbers would
clearly is a
suggest that
he
DeMarco
clearly
Murray
is
is
an
just
NFL
fine as the
starter.
number one back.
Man, DeMarco Murray would be a great if they wanted to save him and extend his career, I'd say another 5 years in Tennessee. They'd put him in a third down role and let that big bastard take on first and second down.
Well, I mean, DeMarco's 1,300 plus last year. I would suggest otherwise, wouldn't it?
Man, I still
You
know
are the
Derrick
I
numbers.
Henry.
understand if you don't like him, but at the end of the day,
No,
he
I'm
still
not
put
saying
up
I don't
numbers
like him,
last
but
year.
he's not the best running back on that team. You know it.
Sometimes you don't have to be the best running back to be the most effective.
I
And
mean,
them 1,300 yards looms
behind that
large.
offensive line, it probably should have been 1,600 with Derrick Henry.
See, here you go with that stuff. Behind the line. I mean, the dude still has to recognize the hole and make the plays. The
Maybe
line
they're
don't
saving
carry him down
him.
the field.
Maybe they're saving him
For
because
what?
okay.
Though?
So
Like
wait a
they
minute, wait a
clearly did
minute.
not use
Who has the
Henry
best
enough.
running back tandem in the NFL?
They do.
All right. So I mean,
So if it ain't broke, then why
it's
try to fix it?
okay. It's okay. He ran a lot at Alabama, man. He took a lot of big SEC hits,
That's
man.
a big boy. He's
It's
fine. It's a
okay.
Heisman winner. He's
It's okay.
fine.
Be
He can
patient.
handle it.
I am okay with it because
If
there's
How
if
blue
gonna
winners
come a
from
if
time
Alabama
when
don't
maybe
have
when
great track
both of them
records?
in the
if you
backfield,
if you
maybe
expect them to
DeMarco
win a Super Bowl
vice
one of the next
versa.
2 years, they're gonna have to give that job to the guy that can actually carry them to a Super
And
Bowl.
running backs decline. Maybe when he declined, DeMarco Murray will decline this year, and
He's
they'll give it
already
to him.
starting. He's already slowly declining. Like some of those little
Okay.
foot injuries last year, toward the second half of the season when he started slowing down,
All right. Well,
they
Derrick
should have
Henry,
gave
it's
Derrick
your
Henry a
turn to
chance
get
to
in at
win.
that point. He's used up, and then we'll sign. I don't know. Insert running back you haven't heard here from the street. That'll be our new running back
No,
tandem.
that's but what I'm saying, you can keep Murray, but if you protect him a little bit more and don't have him have all the wear and tear of being a bell cow back, he can stay in Tennessee for another 4 or 5 years easily.
But
Easily
maybe
with just being
that's what they're
smart.
doing. Let's see what they're doing in the regular season. I mean, these games, these preseason games, you just said it, they're scripted. We don't know what they're going to do, how
See,
many times,
but the
with who.
thing is, I'm not judging off preseason. You know, I've been clamoring for Derrick Henry to start since last year, so I always been a Derrick Henry guy.
Rookie season. Bring him, let him see everything. Now let's see how he's used in year two. Mike Mularkey likes to smash and dash. He loves the
If
running game,
I'm putting
tinkering
like
with it.
if it's
You
not
know,
minimum, if it's not minimum 60-40, I'm very disappointed.
well,
That's
let's see.
that's 60 for DeMarco, 40 for Henry. I
Well,
feel
this is when
that
we
should
as
be the
real
best way to
fans
go.
have to keep a number of that. We'll keep a tally. I think they're headed towards that. I really do. And I think that they're both going to see time decrease because remember, we've got the wide receiver game now with Mariota
Hello.
under year 3. So they
Taywan
don't really have to
Taylor,
rely on
Corey
them quite
Davis,
as
Eric
much.
Decker,
But I know
Delanie
I
Walker.
know Malarkey likes his running backs. So they're gonna eat, but it doesn't have to be as much. Maybe they're catching some stuff out of the backfield and they're doing some things like that. I'm excited to see what the offense is. Finally, for once, I'm excited offensively for the Titans. This ain't Vince
I
Young
mean,
and
because
Lindell White
they
trying to
actually
run simple stuff. This is
they
going to be
built
a great
they built their
offense.
offense
Balance.
correctly over the last 3 years. I mean, it wasn't like it was a long rebuild. I mean, look at Jacksonville; they still struggling. The Jets ain't really had a solid offense for like the last 10 years, but they actually slowly built their offense, and it was pretty quick. 3 years to build an offense, that's a quick ass turnaround. Sometimes it usually takes a good offense to get to maximum like stats about 5 years. And if
Mhm.
they can get it by year three, I think that's perfect. And do I feel they have the recipe to compete for a Super Bowl? Yes. But I need a couple more playmakers on the defensive side. I think honestly, if Cam Chancellor didn't resign, I think that would have been a perfect fit in Dick LeBeau defense. If he didn't resign with the Seahawks and became a free agent.
Oh, it would have.
Didn't they
Hey, I
pick up?
agree with that. Go
What's
ahead.
what's, what's that, Wilson?
Didn't they pick up Cyprian from Jacksonville?
They got. I know they got Logan Ryan. I believe they
Yeah,
got.
yeah, yeah. We
I
got
believe they
Cyprian
got
too.
Cyprian
I
too.
mean,
I was about to
Cyprian
say
staying.
that's another hard head to be back there to play safety and sort
He's
of that
okay.
Cam role. He's not Cam,
Yeah.
but he's a hat that'll put a hat on somebody. I mean, it's an upgrade as far as I'm concerned at the safety spot for him.
and see, while I like Adoree Jackson, that's why I wish we would have went for Jamal Adams, the
Yes.
safety out of LSU.
Yes. Him or Malik Hooker would have been good.
Well, you would have had to
Yeah,
trade up
yeah.
to
We
get
need we needed
Jamal.
a safety in the draft.
But see, I think y'all passed on Malik and went for Adoree, correct?
Yeah, they
'Cause
did. They did.
y'all had a chance to get Hooker. Y'all fucked that up.
They did. They did. I know they did. I know.
They
I know.
fucked-
I was right there on draft day, just quietly upset. You know.
But I
When,
mean,
when
like I said, I like the Titans this year. I think they're gonna be able to make the playoffs. I expect Marcus Mariota to easily get about, I want to say about 3,500 yards passing. I expect about 4 to 500 on rushing, and I expect about 30 to 35 total touchdowns. I expect a huge season from him. I really believe him and Jameis Winston are going to have great third year seasons. Like I honestly believe that, and I believe both of them is going to make the playoffs.
I agree with that. I agree with that, man. I think Mariota also is primed for a big season. I wrote it down. They were 2 wins away. Man, we talked about everything I wanted to get to. Malarkey and Terry Robisky, those dynamic dumbasses, can
Oh,
not get in Mariota's way. Stay
But
out of that.
you Wayne, I
Stay
get
out
the
of his way.
frustration,
If
and I
they do
also
that,
get the
we'll
I
be
get the frustration on the Houston end of it too. But it's not a lot of good coaches no more, man. Like
no,
a
no,
good
no,
coach
no,
is
no.
hard to
Yeah.
find. It's hard to.
No,
Who's out
this is
there?
common sense
Talk to me.
stuff.
Who's out there?
Jim Harbaugh, he's out there. He's a good NFL coach.
He's not coming back to the NFL. He's set
But
in
I'm
Michigan.
saying,
He
okay,
got
you
he
said
got a
name a good
Jordan symbol on
NFL
his
coach.
jersey.
Who's good right now? Okay, I think when he's not burying his head in the sand in the Super Bowls, I think Dan Quinn's pretty decent.
But I mean, that's actually available to come in and take over. Like, look at some
Oh,
of the
it's
coaching
like what?
hires from Anthony Lynn, Josh McVay. Like these are not name brand coaches. These are upstarts. And a team like Tennessee, they can't afford an upstart. They honestly need a Dick LeBeau type coach, like a little bit younger version, not his old ass, but like actually in charge of everything. But is no elite coaches out there like that. Like you really got to start all the way over with these head coaches.
But do we have to start off over with the one who had his first winning season in nearly 12 years?
I mean,
The guy's last name is Malarkey. He doesn't scream Super Bowls.
well, in a way, yeah, but in a way, no.
it's
I
nobody.
mean, as a coach, it may not scream that, but he's got pretty good experience as a player when it comes to being around Super Bowl caliber teams. He does know what it looks like.
Uh,
I know you frustrated. I can hear the frustration.
Give me
And I
Kevin
mean, I
Sumlin. I'm
understand
just
where you're
playing.
coming
No,
from with
you
that
don't.
too. But my
But
thing is, give him a shot, let him go ahead, and now that he's got all of the pieces, it seems in place, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where it's his strength, his bread and butter. Give him a shot, see where he goes, see where he takes it, because now you've entered that wonderful little area that I, as a Packers fan, call that realm of no excuses. He ain't got no more excuses.
None.
It's put up or shut up time.
They have to do it.
But fortunately for him, taking back to his playing days, his backgrounds, bouncing around places like Buffalo and Pittsburgh, that offense that he's building looks really similar to the offenses that he played in. If he can get them to run, especially keeping
Bro,
that
they gonna
ground and
run.
pound, but now that you've expanded out and you've got wide receivers to complement that offense, they look a lot like Pittsburgh in the early Roethlisberger days.
interesting.
I mean,
Without
you
the
think about it. You
without
look
the
at Fast
defense.
Willie Parker and Jerome Bettis in the backfield. You look at the young receiving core that they had when Big Ben first came into the league. They look a lot similar. Strong offensive line, defense that had to kind of
Mm.
catch up, but eventually did catch up, and they went to a few Super Bowls.
And that's why I say it's possible, man. Tennessee need a couple more pieces. Are they in the right direction? Yes. As far as being on the up climb, and if I want to throw a ranking on them, I have them ranked right outside the top 10, like
Yeah, for
12 or
me, they're around
13.
12 or
Yeah,
13. I think
12 or
they just
13.
need. I think they
They
need
just need a couple more pieces. Yeah,
another draft, and a good
solid, a
hit in
strong
free
draft,
agency,
and you
and
good,
they're right in the mix.
and they good, man. But what's your issues with the Texans, man? Talk to me.
They're not really issues. These are just things that Texan fans need to do to get better. You won't
What?
like what sometimes Michael Jackson said, "Start with the man in the mirror."
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about the Texans looking themselves in the mirror and having to accept some harsh truths. All right. Obviously, the obvious one. Fire Bill O'Brien.
He just want everybody fired. I can't.
Fire
Oh.
Bill O'Brien.
Thank you, Wilson.
Let me tell you why. He's a very
In the
conservative coach.
in the words of Bomani Jones, I think that would be hustling backwards.
No, it would not.
Yes, it
He's
would.
a conservative coach.
And once again, hire who, Lane?
He does not. Anybody is better than this dope.
Oh no.
They should have
I
went
can't agree
young.
with that.
Yeah,
one.
did
I
you see
can't
the?
Adam
agree.
Did you
Gase
see
was
Gus Bradley?
available. The Texans should have went after Adam Gase.
I was never sold on Adam.
Because you're right. You're right. You guys are both right. You got to buy young. Because they fired so many coaches, half of them have retired. You got to grow the next crop.
Are they?
You're
Are
right.
they? Yeah, exactly. Are they retreads? Like all the retreads have had their second job.
So get a young coach. Just gamble on one.
But
You're
in
gambling
relative
on the Sun.
terms,
The
Bill
Texans
O'Brien is a
need
young
to
coach.
gamble. You
Yes.
see, every time, other franchises, when they're ready to fire a coach, they bring out the pitchforks. And I'm talking to you Texan fans out there. Speaking of principle, oh well, should we bring him out? No, mobilize yourself for war for once. Sound off. Sound
No,
off and get
no, Lane.
upset.
But
Fire,
Texas fans are
push
so
to fire
content
your
because they've
coach.
got winning seasons and division championships. So why would they fire him?
Because he's not pushing you over the hump. You've got an all-time defense. I'll give you that. I'm agreeing with everything. But to push them over the hump, you got to have the quarterback. You never
they
have
have
because
tried.
this idiot.
They
Okay,
have
but you can't
tried.
blame Bill O'Brien for that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's not Bill
You
fault.
can't blame
Nothing.
O'Brien for that.
He's
O'Brien don't
nothing
control the
without
draft.
Tom Brady.
But O'Brien
You
don't
hired him
control the
because of
draft.
Tom Brady. Why don't you
No,
all just give?
you hired him
Well,
because what he did
here's
with
what the
Penn
Texans should do.
State, man.
You want to know what they should
Tom
do?
Brady got nothing to do with Penn State.
They hired him because of what he did with Christian Hackenberg.
You want to know what you want to know what they should do? Hire Tom Brady to coach the Texans. Back up the money truck. Just have him. Since you want to copy everything that this guy did because of Tom Brady, why don't you just hire Tom Brady? Hire the source.
It's a copycat league.
It is. Everybody got the same system. I mean, look at Bruce Ellington, who just came, said, "Oh, I'm just pretty much following the playbook I use with San Francisco." Different
That's why I like the
terminology.
Titans.
Everybody do
We
the
don't
same
always
thing.
hit the Titans have gambled big. We offered Peyton Manning a murderer's row to come and run the team when he retired. Remember that story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I recall.
You see, ESPN doesn't want to talk about that. They want to paint us as inept. No, we're just missing a little bit. But as Big Sean said, it's the nigga that you probably least expected. I just had a couple dots that needed connected. Now your top 5 NFL teams getting redirected to the Titans.
Hey.
From here on out, it'll be consecutive. And that's what happens when you gamble big. The Texans, you always want to go the conservative route. So this is better. Just towing the company line is better than making a real play for the Super Bowl.
I mean,
You
Lane.
gotta take steps.
Yes, they're taking steps, and they
You
went
gotta
out and
take
they
steps.
signed technically as bad as he was. They signed the best rated quarterback in free agency.
He does
And then
not
look-
embrace Deshaun Watson. Here's the quote that did
Whoa,
Bill
whoa, whoa.
O'Brien not say?
He doesn't
What was
embrace.
Bill O'Brien's defense for Tom Savage? Oh, he's a starter. He started
Well,
some
all right.
5 freaking starts. Just
Tom
5
Savage out of
freaking
this.
starts.
We've had this conversation numerous times. You have to see what you got out of Tom Savage. He doesn't have any type of true
No,
game tape.
why? He's a
Lane,
rookie.
Lane,
He's replaceable.
He is a rookie, but he's also a rookie that has 3 years of experience knowing the system. So if he flames out, it's an
5
easy
starts.
way. It's an easy way to go to the shot. Now I'm fine with that. 5 stars, that's plenty. That's plenty. I think a 3-2 record or a 2-3 record is enough to where you're like, okay, maybe this is not going to work out. I see where this is going to be heading. It's going to be a lot of division games coming up. I understand what you're saying.
No, you
But
know why? Because here's what's going to happen. He's going to turn in bland games for about 230 yards, and he's going to dink and dunk and duh his way to a couple of touchdowns.
and
He's
at
going
the
to be
and
just
at the
good
end,
enough. And you guys are going to be
listen,
happy with
Lane,
just good enough.
Lane,
Put in Watson.
first 5 games, he's going to be having to test
Why do you
at
want
the
to put in
Patriots.
Watson so fast?
Yeah, it's no reason to do that. Let him sit,
Because
Lane.
he's exciting.
It
He's
doesn't. All
new.
right,
Okay,
he can be exciting later on
Hear me
in the
out. Hear me
year.
out. Because this is a conversation that we've had in our prior podcast about Deshaun Watson. Because I am super against playing him
Sit.
this season for a couple of reasons. Number
Oh,
one,
of course, the
and
Packer
now
fan
hear
with
me
Aaron
out. Hear
Rodgers
me
is.
out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Number one, I'm a Packers fan. I like the sit and
Yes,
study method.
here
I
we
like the
go.
sit and study method. I've never seen quarterbacks flame out when they sit for a couple of years and then come in
Nope.
after they've actually learned the offense. But two, and this is my most important reason as it pertains to the Texans, I don't want to see that kid get the shit beat out of him behind that raggedy ass line.
Because what's the
I'll
one?
put Savage's
What's the
ass
one
out
thing
there
we
in a
not talking
heartbeat.
about? We didn't say shit about the offensive lines. We talking about an all-time defense. But if your damn line can't keep nobody held
Yeah,
up,
I don't
shit.
want to see the
The
boy
defense.
go out there and
Well, that's
be.
my next point. Here's my next point. Go the Titans route in building your offensive line. Get
Bro,
tackles who protect. Get strong
bro,
inside established
did you
guys who can establish the
But
run.
did you
everybody
The
did you see
Titans
the
got a
offensive
talking
flex
right now
line.
knows
The
that.
Texans
did you
got a
see
Everybody
the
flex
talking
offensive
now
line
knows
class
that.
this year? Did you see the offensive line class this year? Did you see them? It was like 6 offensive linemen that was draftable as far as tackles was concerned. The offensive line was trash this year. Last year, that wasn't a concern. Last year was finding playmakers. So yes, I understand they have to build that line lane, but damn man, give them some time, dude. I mean, they
How
can,
much time do
you
you
can't
need?
you
It's
can't
been
just
since
you can't just go
2002.
out there and
They're
find a
always
top 5
rebuilding
tackle every
something.
year. You can't just go out there and do that, man.
Well,
That's
then you're not
impossible.
gonna like. Well, then you're not gonna like my final point. Then, and let
I
me
think I
finish.
will.
You need to trade away if you want to create the perfect place for Deshaun Watson to thrive. You're right. This is going to take a couple of years, but follow me. You're going to have to trade DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. Watt
Impossible,
has
man.
no real future. Let me finish. J.J. Watt is me first. Me first, me first. You really think he wants the black guy? You really think the burly guy from Wisconsin wants young and hip Deshaun Watson, who represents the new Houston, to come in and steal his shine? Oh
Makes sense.
no, JJ. Wait, JJ Watt doesn't want that. You really think DeAndre Hopkins already told you where he fits? He went against his fellow Clemson guy. Get these two guys out of here. They're me first. You can trade them
Their
away.
team
What's
first.
on
You
the
can't
team?
just go out there and endorse a rookie when you got a dude that's trying to start on your football team at quarterback. You can't just bury your starting quarterback like that, Lane. That's problems. You're in the first team huddle all day, but I just said I want the backup to start. Come on, Lane. Think about that for a minute, bro.
Get rid
What
of Hopkins.
how would DeAndre Hopkins backing up Deshaun Watson help the team?
I
How?
say get rid of him.
So what do you get for him?
Yeah, you're not gonna get nothing. He's in a contract
Picks.
year. He can leave.
Well,
He can
well,
leave
let him
before.
go. It's time to. If you're
All
not
right,
on
Lane.
code, you know what? Let me tell you why. Back to the Titans. There was a story a couple of years ago when they first hired John Robinson as the general manager. He and Mike Mularkey and Marcus Mariota are in lockstep. Why do you think you don't hear too many crazy headlines about Mariota? Why do you think he's had a pretty easy and healthy comeback? Those three men are in lockstep. So you got to get rid of the coach, get somebody else for him. Got to get rid of all these players who aren't in lockstep with Watson and his development. Because he can be what Mariota is. You have the next great quarterback in this conference. When they drafted Deshaun Watson, I immediately said, okay, Titans, we need to go defense. We need to go defense. This guy's going to terrorize us, or at least try to, for the next decade if that team decides to embrace him from day one. That's
And
what I said.
that is 100% possible. But as a guy that you wants to be fired, Bill O'Brien is on the hot seat. And as a coach that's on the hot seat, the worst thing you can do is
Why
throw your
isn't
rookie out there and let him get
the
destroyed.
GM on the hot seat?
Man, because he's tied into the family. McNair's
Why
never.
y'all giving him a pass? I'm just asking.
Oh, he don't got
I'm
no
just
pass.
asking.
I don't know why.
At some point, you just got to accept the fact that he's not going nowhere. And I'm at that.
And that's the biggest problem. So we can talk about the coach and the players that need to be a team first and not me first.
Yeah, but if the
This,
GM
that, and the other. At the end of the day, the GM is responsible for all those things that we're talking about on that team right now.
That has nothing to do with
the
Bill
players.
O'Brien, Lane. Nothing to do with Bill O'Brien.
So
That's
let's
their
talk
biggest
about
problem. Their front
firing
office
Rick
is
Smith.
trash.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Now there's some good
If the fans could, we would, but he is so tied into McNair. They didn't make
in love with him. McNair's in love with him. He ain't going nowhere.
I think Rick Smith. That's one of his godfathers. Like, bro, like
where the fire Rick Smith banners? Where is it flying over Houston? Why has nobody got enraged enough for that?
Because they too busy selling out the stadium and buying all their tickets. They like to talk about the real talk. Now, real talk. They love to talk about how bad Jerry Jones is and all he do is just think about the money and he don't care if his team good, this, that, and the other. For a lot of these myopic Texans fans, they have to understand the Texans have sold out every fucking game that they've had since they started since 2002. Yep. Whether them motherfuckers were 16-0 or 0-16. And they still go out there in droves and throw money at them blindly, regardless of what the product is that they get on the field. And to me, that's hilarious.
Although it means little to nothing, they also won best tailgating city for the last 7 years. So people are there. Like, they don't even go in. Like, they sold out in there, so they outside having another party.
So he got his mindless sheep that's feeding him money, so he don't really care what y'all think
about
his GM or the state of his team. Y'all still paying, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that's it. Like I understand you won't change, Lane, but that change is not going to come. Bill O'Brien may be here for another 5 years easily, and Rick Smith may be here for another 10.
McNair does not think about business. McNair thinks about this as a family, and that's the wrong move. When you're an Eddie DeBartolo 49ers team or a Robert Kraft Patriots team, then you can talk that family shit. Until then, it's not show friends, it's show business. And I'm trying to win. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, so that's just what that is, Lane. Like that change not gonna come. I understand.
And that's why I got them coming in second this year, and I got the damn Tennessee Titans going 12-4.
They still gonna be in the playoffs, so I don't care what.
Oh yes, the Texans will stumble their way. Somebody
got to lose in the wild card game. That's
push
fine.
them across.
Not us.
Somebody got to lose in the wild card round. That's fine.
Not us.
That's pretty much what the Texans are. They're fodder for that round of the playoffs.
Exactly.
First off, if y'all crying about Watson getting in, then he do get in and do something for the last 10 games, then what? That's not going to change for y'all. If Tom Savage starting a playoff game, I can see a flame out easily. But if Watson up in there, you won't know what to expect because he's still going to be growing as a starting quarterback at that time. I mean, come on. It's still a process, man.
Is it depressing being a Texan fan knowing that you've got the great defense, but there's nobody there to push them over the hump? There's literally nobody there within the culture that understands how to push them over the hump. J.J. Watt is just a celebratory troll. DeAndre Hopkins cares about himself. There's nobody that cares.
No. The biggest issue that I see with the team is the culture. And the reason I bring that into account is Dwayne Brown, because there's nobody that can tell Dwayne Brown to get back to camp. And that's when it becomes a problem because he is the longest tenured Texan. So technically, he's supposed to be like the voice, the Yoda of the group, and he's just not there, so the culture's wrong. And I believe somebody from the players has to step up. The person that could do it is J.J. Watt. He has to become the complete player. Yes, I understand the production's always been there, but I can personally tell you I have never seen J.J. Watt the leader. I've never seen J.J. Watt go up and just talk to a quarterback. He always, even in his interviews, he's like, I don't talk about the offense. All I do is worry about defense. You need to worry about the offense. And once he break out that mode and actually becomes a complete leader, that's when the culture will change. But until he can do it, the most productive player, it won't ever happen because DeAndre too quiet. Jadeveon Clowney too quiet. All those South Carolina boys just too chill. They damn near like Texas. They damn like Texas people, seriously. I mean, down south people just all the same. So the only person that can bring out that attitude and change this culture.
All Texas people. Drew Brees ain't quiet.
I mean, come on, man. That's a quarterback. That's different swag.
I don't care. It's a person from Texas in a position of leadership. You can go through and get it how you live. That's not even a thing of regional. It's just a question of heart and how you come out. It's
I
no,
mean, but
it's
the
no reason
quarterback
that you can
the
go through.
quarterback has to be the leader of a team nine
But
times
there's
out of
no
10.
reason if you are the most effective or most recognizable player on your team, there is no excuse by where you came from or how your demeanor is. You have to step up to the plate and lead that team. D Hop don't get no pass from me for that. JJ Watt don't get no pass from me from that.
First
You're
off,
not taking your time to get out of the spotlight
giving
for it. So
I'm not giving DeAndre a pass for it.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that no longer works for me just because, oh, well, he's a laid back dude. Well, if laid back is keeping you at 9-7, maybe you need
I
to
mean,
get wired up.
DeAndre Hopkins had a
Right.
dog in a purse, so it's like, bro, how can I respect my
And last
leader?
time I checked, when they did that scrimmage a couple of seasons ago, when he was talking shit to D'Angelo Hall, he didn't sound too chilled in.
It's a scrimmage. I mean, anybody can be tough in practice,
Hey,
but
you call it what you want. If you can run your mouth then, you can run your mouth when it really matters.
he
To
don't run
me,
his
that
mouth
makes
a
me
lot though.
look even worse.
Honestly, that's the only time I ever seen him talk shit to somebody. Like he dusted Darrell Reeves twice and he didn't say shit about it. It's like, damn, dude, you ain't gonna get excited.
Well,
That's just not his attitude.
I'm sorry that the Texans have passive aggressive players.
Hey, that's what
Right.
they have. I mean,
I
I
guess it's a
see it.
microcosm of how their history is. It's fine.
They like
I
to
mean,
sell brisket and complain about how the fans leave.
Yeah, we
Remember
like to
that
have
Vince
we
Wills
like to have
dork?
players that fans love, not the ones that they respect or the ones that they can win with, but we just want the players that people like. We want the likable
Yep.
guys.
Yep.
they want
Nice
JJ
guys
Watt.
finish fucking
That's
last
all
in
he cares
sport.
about.
Nice
they,
guys
JJ Watt
finish
doesn't care
last.
about winning.
Assholes get rings. It's a proven fact.
JJ Watt is not a leader yet. Like I can agree. I mean, at 28 years old, you shouldn't be saying that from the best player on your team, but it's the truth. I know he's not a leader. I know exactly what the problem is, but firing the coaching staff is not going to do any justice to trying to find a leader on the team. Because now you're going to be looking for another leader for the coaching staff and trying to replace them, and you still don't have a leader for the players. So that's like Wilson says, hustling backwards. It's not going to help us at all.
I mean,
Just
after a while, if you keep going through and you keep firing coaches and firing coaches and firing coaches and nothing changed, well, there's a common denominator that's still always been there that's contributing to this situation, and it ain't the head coach.
Ricky Smith.
But they don't want to see that. They go through with the rose-colored glasses and figure that 9-7 is their nirvana. So let them enjoy their nirvana and lose in the first round. I mean, shit.
I don't know about all that. Now you're going a little bit too far.
No, I ain't going too far.
Don't say we gonna lose
They
no
haven't
first
shown me
round.
anything different. Because if it wasn't for that doctor's note that they got in the first round last year against the Raiders, they'd have exited in the first round last year.
Probably.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows?
Bro,
It
Derek
happened.
Carr would have smoked the shit out of the Texans.
Woulda,
last year.
coulda, but he wasn't there. So we
You're
won.
right.
Don't
You're
matter.
right. You're absolutely right.
Don't matter. But we'll see how everything plays. I mean, it's a 2-team race in the AFC South. Like I said,
It's a one-team race.
it's a 2-team race, AFC South. And I only say 2 teams because since we got 2 different teams winning division on this podcast, but whatever. But I'm confident with the Texans this year. The schedule's not too bad. There's not a lot of elite quarterbacks you got to play at once you get past Peyton and maybe Russell Wilson, depending on how you feel about Russ, especially at Seattle. But I
Russ
think
gonna
this
make you feel it this year.
probably so. I mean, it was Richard Sherman that gave it to us last time, but
Russ about to have a huge season this year. He's looked good in preseason, man.
But yeah, like I said, I'm still confident overall with the team. Like I say, I'm fine with 10-6, but I think this defense gonna really step it up to a whole nother level. I think Whitney Merciless gonna have another strong year as usual. I expect Clowney to play at least
That's the
13
best player
games.
on their team for my money.
No,
That
I mean
nobody likes to talk about.
that's the most consistent player in a
And
long
shouts out to
time.
Deontay Foreman, hometown, doing it up. That kid is gonna push Mr. Miller for a lot of touches this year.
No, he definitely deserves it because he's a big play threat, and a lot of people seen like when he gets to the outside, it's hard to catch him. Like he got sneaky speed,
He's one
sneaky
of
speed.
those few guys that you see that has that good size speed ratio that you really want out of workhorse tailbacks.
So like I say, it's
I
gonna
got a shout out. Shout out to Texas A&M running back and former Decaney High School star Trey Williams. He had a punt return for a touchdown on the
Yes,
Falcons in the
sir. For the
preseason
Steelers,
game.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that,
he's trying
man.
to
It
make
looked
the
like he
team.
was playing Madden.
good old
Yeah,
Trey.
it looked man. The Falcons special teams. That's my concern. That needs work.
I mean
Nobody's talking about
that's everybody's
that's
special,
the second
and
team they've had
that
screw up
goes
like that.
That goes to the other thing we always talk about, man. Tackling, like nobody tackles no more. It seems like a lot of
Right.
these players don't know how to tackle. They breakdowns are terrible. They angles are pathetic. It's like special teams is.
Well, you know, one of the things about that too that kind of contributes to that, not to really rally to their defense or anything like that, but the way that they've been so hard on them with these rules and these targeting and stuff like that has kind of changed the way that they have to go through and practice too.
And they only
Some of
have
these guys are
10,
really
10 padded
relearning the
practices
practice.
all year. Like 10
But
padded
no, I'm saying
practices.
from a mentality standpoint, if you grow up your whole life and you're known to go at it full board, throw your body into it, get it in, give 110%, and then they come back behind and they're like, well, no, because if you do it this way, you're gonna get flagged or you're gonna get suspended, this, that, and the other. And now you have players not going on instinct anymore, they're thinking, and sometimes they're overthinking it. And that
Mm.
causes you to take bad angles and miss tackles. It's not always a thing of they don't know how to tackle per se, it's they don't know how to adjust to them changing these rules on them so much. Things that would have been good hits for us 10 years ago are penalties and suspensions now.
3 years.
Mm.
Like straight up, straight down. People like Ronnie Lott wouldn't
Right.
last in this league right now. He'd have been getting fined all year.
Oh yeah, he would have been kicked out. He would have been crying
You know
like
what I'm
James
saying?
Harris.
Yeah. He'd have been like the Rasheed Wallace of fucking football. He'd have been getting suspended and fined every fucking week.
No doubt.
But for us, that was just good hard tackle. That was good hard
Yeah, it
play.
was good football.
But now they're so
Right.
nitpicky with the stuff, and everything is so micromanaged. Oh my God! Well, you know the corner his face mask hit up against the other guy's face mask, so that's a penalty. I mean, damn, it's a bang bang play. You can't get this dude to actually sit and think. Oh wait, I need to make sure that my face is up at a 45-degree angle so I don't leave with the crown of my helmet and
Yeah.
get a penalty. You don't think about stuff like that. That goes against your natural instinct. So it compromises a lot of those defensive guys and gives a decided advantage to offensive players in that regard. And it makes them look bad, honestly.
Yeah, it really does. It really does, man. Man, anything else you got for us, Lane, before we get ready to wrap things up?
Man, just stay up with us, man. Girl underscore group ATL on Instagram. We're gonna start releasing some more visuals for y'all. We got a lot of the photos, but as we start to release some of the previews and stuff, we'll definitely keep y'all updated, man. So appreciate it.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Anything for the people, Wilson, before we head out?
Man, I have definitely enjoyed this. And when we talk about for the culture, this is exactly what we talk about, man. You get all walks of life, all backgrounds, all types of opinions and stuff like that. And contrary to what we do nowadays in society, and people are so quick to judge or wall off somebody's opinion, sometimes you need a good mix of opinions to come up with an actual viewpoint that is sensible in all directions. We don't always have to agree on everything, but you don't have to talk down somebody to make yourself look right either. That's the nature of true debate. That's one of the things that makes stuff like sports and debate in general fun. People are so quick to want to make sure that they make themselves look good by making somebody else look bad, and that's not necessarily the case in order to have a good discussion. And that's why I like having this discussion tonight, because it's just fun. You know, we can agree to disagree, but it doesn't have to be a thing where we hate each other, want to kill each other. So, you know, all you Twitter finger beefers and Facebook activists and assassins, like breathe, man. Just because somebody don't agree with you, don't mean you got to try to murder their family or some shit. It's social media. Relax.
Straight up, man. That's a good ass message.
We see it all the time, man. We see it in our own group sometimes. People be ready to just bring out the pitchforks. Like, damn, he just said he don't
Yeah.
like mac and cheese on Wednesdays. Damn, he'll eat it on Friday. Goddamn, he just didn't want the carbs that day.
Right.
No doubt, man. that's one time for the culture, man, for real. And whether it's fantasy or reality, we hope you enjoyed this Southern hospitality. Now y'all take it easy.